Hey everyone, I am Nancy, your host for the FlexiEle HRMS Playbook Mastering Modern HR. In today's video, we will be exploring payroll management with FlexiEle HRMS from an HR perspective and examining how our powerful features distinguish us from other solutions in the market. Before we begin, be sure to check out the playlist link in the description to catch up on the previous episodes. And as always, don't hesitate to reach out for any questions. We are here to help. So let's get started. The first we have is employee master. Now let's talk about the key factors that the payroll depends on when onboarding a new candidate. This can happen in two ways. First, the candidate's data is already available as their salary and other details were discussed during the onboarding process. Second, the data is created from scratch and the payroll is processed accordingly. Several components come into play here, such as the date of joining, payroll group, candidate's location, age, and tax declaration, and more. All these data points are seamlessly connected and essential to accurate payroll processing in FlexiEle HRMS. The next we have is employee salary details. This section displays salary details including CTC, salary component distribution, and the salary breakup as per government regulations of the employee. The salary breakup is undated in two ways. In case of new employee, we need to define their new salary structure. Define new salary. This tab is used not only for creating new employees records but also for handling updates such as salary revision, restructuring, and promotions. After completing these actions, proceed to the salary prism section. The salary prism helps define the basic salary slab for an employee. The slab can be set by the company based on different factors such as employee's department, annual CTC, or grade level. Regarding the PF, its applicability depends upon company's policy and government regulation. The admin will select the appropriate option based on what applies to the employee. Once the CTC, which is cost to company details, are entered and you scroll down, the system will display the employee's salary breakup based on the selected salary prism rule. There is also a dedicated salary prism tab where you can set rules for each salary component according to the salary structure. All rules in the salary prism are designed to comply with government regulations, including minimum wage requirements. The next we have is month input. Through the input feature, the admin can regulate not only regular salary but also handle special cases. If an employee exceeds their assigned targets as per the company's policy, they can be rewarded with incentives. In scenarios where the incentive column is not included in defined salary structure, there is no need to worry. FlexiEle provides a month input filter section that allows you to manage such exceptions efficiently. To enter incentive data, search for specific employee's name, select the appropriate component, enter the incentive amount, choose the payroll month, specify the repeat salary process month. If the incentive is to be repeated for multiple months, update the date until which the value should continue. Finally, add a mandatory comment explaining the reason for this extra amount. This helps the payroll administrator track and validate the incentive entry later. This function allows administrator to input one-time or recurring incentive values for an employee who exceeded their performance targets, even if those incentives are not part of the regular salary structure. The general input section also includes various salary components. With its help, new components can be added to customize the employee's salary structure. The next we have is loss of pay or reversal. This section displays the number of times an employee or group of the employees has missed their payroll. It includes six fields which is employee, type, payroll month, from date, number of days, and comments. Occasionally, an employee may not receive their salary for a particular month. In such cases, they are required to provide valid proof. Once the payroll team verifies the details, the salary is processed accordingly. The loss of pay with reversal refers to instances where an employee is absent on a specific date for a valid reason. To create a new entry, click on New. You will need to follow the same steps as in the general input process. However, in the type field, you will be presented with two options, which is loss of pay and loss of pay with reversal. Select the option that best applies to the employee situation. The next we have is hold salary. This section highlights how many times an employee or a group of employees has missed their payroll. It includes six key fields, which are employee, hold month, status, release month, and actions. This option is especially useful when an employee leaves the organization without notice and does not return. In such cases, the feature allows the payroll team to hold the employee's salary for a specific date range, ensuring accurate payroll processing and record keeping. In the employee loan section, it is used for tracking the employee's amount, the amount deduction begin, status, and actions. Under the action column, there is a view option where detailed loan data will appear along with monthly deduction. Here, the admin can also add payment methods and terms if desired. The next we have is salary migration. The data mentioned above can be updated in Excel format, which is already available in the system. The data can be tracked and changed accordingly. The next we have is salary component. If you want to add a new component to your payroll structure, FlexiEle makes it easy to use. We provide a set of basic components that are commonly used across various industries. All the standard components are already available. If any new components are required, follow the steps below. However, if you need to create a custom component, you can do so by clicking on the new option. These are the three simple steps involved in adding a new payroll component. Define the salary component, name the component and assign its type, set calculation rules, specify how the component should be calculated, add variable if required, include any dynamic values that change based on employee or company's condition. The next we have is salary processing. As we have provided all the salary related data of the employee while creating the salary structure, processing the salary would be easy for us. Click on Start Payroll, select the payroll group and month. The status will update automatically, then click on Submit. Click on Pay Date Summary, where the system calculates the number of days you have worked. Input validation checks the data for new hires and employees who have resigned. You can also process data for a single employee. In the next step, you can check the salary process status by entering the payroll group, month, and status. In Run Payroll, salaries are being processed here, including tax and compliance. In the status bar where process appears, by clicking on Generate Report, you can download the Excel of the employees for whom the salary are being processed. The next feature we have is Report Download. We offer a report download feature that allows admin to download payroll related reports by selecting the appropriate module. Based on the selected module, relevant reports will appear for selection. Admin can also customize these reports according to their convenience. This functionality is available not only to payroll admins but also to HR admins. All reports are fully customizable. The next we have is Tax Calculator. We offer a tax calculator to help employees determine whether the old tax regime or the new tax regime is more beneficial for them. The calculator automatically collects the data from the employee salary structure. If employee wish to include additional details such as tax saving options or declarations, they can easily add them manually. Once all relevant information is entered, the calculator will analyze the data and clearly show which tax regime is more advantageous for the employee. This feature supports informed decision making by comparing both tax regimes and providing personalized recommendation based on real-time salary data and user inputs. The next we have is tax declaration. After calculating the data using the tax calculator, the employee can proceed to fill out the tax declaration form. The selected tax regime is highlighted in the green for easy identification. Please note that once the tax regime is selected, it cannot be changed. If the employee does not select tax regime, the system will automatically assign the new tax regime as per government rules. This feature helps employee review their tax calculation and submit their tax declaration. It also ensures compliance by locking the chosen tax regime and applying the default regime when no selection is made. All the components and rules, which are PPF, health insurance, by the governments are already mentioned, they just need to choose and fill. The next we have is FNF. When processing final settlement, which is FNF, for multiple employees, begin by selecting the number of employees from the list. Once the selection is made, click on the Bulk Process FNF button to initiate the procedure. It is important to note that the salary and FNF cannot be processed at the same time. Ensure that salary processing is either completed or on hold before starting the FNF process, such as gratuity or leave encashment. There are two types of final settlement processes: direct FNF and FNF through offboarding process. Direct FNF is applicable when an employee is terminated. In this case, the FNF process is initiated immediately without requiring any additional approval. On the other hand, the FNF through the offboarding process is followed when an employee has submitted their resignation. The resignation is first reviewed and confirmed by the senior leader. Once it is approved, the process is forwarded to the NDC, which is no due clearance team. After the FNF is completed, all the formalities are closed. The status will be updated as closed in the FNF history. We also provide the following modules, which are tax submission, income tax validation, reimbursement processing, reimbursement checking, salary structure reversal, compliance definition, tax comparison, and car hire management. The dashboard cards displayed earlier are fully customizable, allowing you to include or exclude features based on your specific requirement. Thank you for being with us. We hope this gave you a clear understanding of how FlexiEle HRMS streamlines payroll management from an HR perspective. In the next video, we'll be back with the detailed look at the employee payroll dashboard. Stay tuned. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all the things HR tech.